Welcome to an incomplete guide to personal growth. We invite you to take a breath and take a listen to our podcast that explores the wonder, humor, challenges, and sometimes those self-inflicted wounds on a journey of personal growth.
Our weekly podcast conversations include stories, resources, and tools that you can incorporate into your daily life. We're the mother-daughter duo of Sydney
and Kelly.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Sydney.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I want to provide a public service announcement. As part of our intro here, because yesterday I went to the dermatologist.
Yes.
I have no makeup because I had to have stuff. I have a little bandage up here. I had some spots removed.
Taken
care of. And everybody should go at some point to a dermatologist to get things checked because it starts very small. And if you catch them, like there were several spots that they could just burn off. But one looked like it might be basal cell. And there's different types. It's not just melanoma. There are types. There's different types of skin cancer. There's one that I've had. And if you catch them too late, they take a chunk out of you.
Yeah.
Because I had squamous, it's called, a squamous cell carcinoma.
Oh my gosh, my anatomy and physiology is actually useful because I know exactly what types of cells those are.
And if they catch those, then they have to do because they're taking to make sure it hadn't spread. So they take a big old chunk.
They take a larger chunk because it's like they're much more squamous. They're all squished and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. So everybody at some point, and the older you get, the more so. And I just saw an article today about how younger generations are now going, oh, to heck, I like the summer tan.
Yes.
And tan is one thing, but the protection and stuff that you need, I mean, it's
you can still
get a little color.
But it takes longer, and that's the problem.
But for my generation, we just bathed in baby oil, and sat on roofs and different things.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So anyway, public service announcement, because if you procrastinate, it could get even worse.
Oh, yeah.
So catch them early. And notice, most of mine that I've had taken off, I saw it. I know my skin, well, that's new, and that looks different than it did. And the only one I didn't catch was this one up here. And I felt it.
Interesting.
And I thought, has that always been there? Huh. And sure enough, it was early. So
the only thing that I really always keep an eye on is my birthmark.
Yeah, they said to do that if it changes.
Just to make sure, because it has like that irregular lining, outline and stuff. But I mean, I haven't really noticed anything.
No.
It used to be kind of bumpy over the summer, but it hasn't done that for years. So yeah. But no, you're right. I know I should probably keep a better check on my freckles.
So don't procrastinate. Which is our topic.
Yes. First, I want to give the listeners an idea of how do we act? Like, how do we procrastinate?
How do we procrastinate?
Or how much do we procrastinate?
Okay.
I will say, I'm not a procrastinator. Every now and then, if I need to make a phone call, and I'll put it off as long as I can, but it's never anything like dire, But I am not a procrastinator. I physically don't think my body would allow me to do it. I get like anxious and it's no good.
I am a procrastinator.
Yeah, you are.
I am, and I think it helped me, and we'll get into it. The brain develop how the brain is. Procrastination looks lazy, but there's a real science to it.
There
in
is.
The brain.
And you having ADHD doesn't help. So
no, but So I
but
do.
You are a procrastinator,
and about only certain things.
Yeah.
And I did find that if I make a list, I procrastinate less because I love marking things off.
Yes.
So anyway, that's a brain thing.
Yes. So we are very different ends of the spectrum when it comes to procrastination.
Yes.
Just to say.
Let's speak of our brains.
Yes. There is a ton of science behind why we do it.
Well, it made me feel better.
Yeah. Do you want to explain?
But it's not an excuse. You can talk about it and I'll chime in.
Okay, and you can chime in. So there are lots of parts to our brain. We have our long-term planning, we have our rational thinking, all that stuff, self-control. And then we also have the exact opposite, where we love immediate reward, we love emotional comfort, we, only think about short term.
Yeah.
We have both parts. And it's when these clash that we have procrastination
Yes.
comes into play.
So,
Yeah.
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 So I'm trying to think. Let's think about this. Break down this real quick. The
Yes.
science of it. This long-term planning and the immediate.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hate phone calls.
Ugh, hate them.
I just don't like. I want to talk to people in person because I can't see. I just.
Or send an email. That's
Yeah.
my preference.
And I just hate to call. And so. Luckily, I have a spouse that will do some of that. But
Dad likes.
so I have to think, what will my reward be if I get these phone calls made?
Well, and this is part of,
Right.
yes, we'll get into that too,
Okay.
because that's part of like, how do we help ourselves?
Right. But
So-
that's what it's talking about. The
Yes,
long-term.
yes, the long-term and the immediate.
Yeah.
And so it's our prefrontal cortex. And this is like such a buzzword with it because it doesn't form, you don't have a full prefrontal cortex. It's not fully formed until you're like 25 or something like that.
And if you have ADHD or ADD like me, it's even later.
It is. And so that's a big thing when we talk about child development. We talk about their prefrontal cortex and where it is. And that's the stuff that helps with our impulse control. It helps with us, with our self-control, with our, this is uncomfortable, but I still got to do, that's the part.
Yeah.
Now, the amygdala is the part of the brain that triggers all of our avoidance responses of like, I don't want to do this. And so let's go and like do something comfortable instead and not anything challenging. So we have a lot. And then, so all those parts of our brain are involved whenever we're trying to make decisions, when we're trying to, figure out what to do with our time, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I do think it's interesting that then it goes into the types of procrastination as well. And there's an active and a passive procrastination. And for me, so passive procrastination is when it's hard to make decisions and you're like scrolling on your phone, or you're just like maybe reading a book for a bit instead, or you're just like it's just difficult to make the decision. So you just keep avoiding it basically. And
take
doing
your brain
emotional.
elsewhere.
Yes. Then active procrastination is you're doing it on purpose because you work well under pressure. You are purposefully waiting until the last minute because I always pull it together in the end. And I never do.
You can't do that.
I cannot do that at all. If no. And so there's a choice to procrastinate, which some people do.
Yeah.
Used to be married to one.
Yeah.
Drove me nuts. And or there's the passive that I think a lot of us tend to fall into too, of just let me comfort myself instead of doing anything difficult.
Right.
Have you ever done the active? Have you ever purposefully put something on because you figure you'll put it together in the end?
There are certain things, and I'll get into that. Part of that is the type of work I did. It was, you have to formulate, and say I'm doing a retreat. Well, it takes a long time. It looks like I'm not doing anything, but I'll be running, I'll be doing something else, and I'll be formulating that in my mind, or I'll just be sitting and I'll get some of it, and then I wait. And that's what I call waiting for inspiration or procrastinating. That's my new term. That's what I decided. That
tends to be what you
do. I know there are certain things where I think it'll come together. Quit worrying about it.
Yeah,
but
I think there's a balance to that.
But
that's
I don't,
a little different, I think.
I don't do a lot of the active.
Yes. Yes. So I think this next part that I kind of want to get into kind of gets into your ideas of why you procrastinate and stuff. What are you?
Because the other types of procrastination.
Yes, that's what I'm about to get into.
Okay, good.
And the reasons we procrastinate. So you have the perfectionist, which is they want to do something so well, so right that they get so overwhelmed. They procrastinate because it's not going to be good enough.
And I hear a lot of artists are like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's not quite, I see this is not quite, and so when is it finished?
There's always never. That's the whole thing with art. It's never finished. You could always add stuff, but you just have to decide this is it.
This is it.
And there's the same thing. Oh, there's another passage I could have, gotten better. Oh, I could have practiced my scales more and this would sound better. It's never finished. Or, this line I interpreted this way. Well, what if I do it this way instead? Well, that'll sound different, but which ones are...
Okay.
Yeah.
See, so that's a
It is the
perfectionist.
constant battle of an artist between the perfectionism that is demanded
Yeah.
and the fact that it's art, so it will never be
Right.
fully finished.
Well,
It's just not
what I can
possible.
tell you is I've never struggled with that one.
Yeah, I figured.
And it's not because other people that aren't just artists do this too. You can
Yeah.
be at work and it can always
There's
looking
always
for
something extra. There's something in the
Yeah,
PowerPoint.
that's those are
that is true
perfectionist
too.
people too.
Yeah, I just know it from my experience
I'm
in
a enough person.
the music
so,
world.
Yeah.
Then you have the dreamer
dreamer.
procrastinator, who just want that's probably you.
Mhm.
Who just stuff to bring us good because there's like, well, what about this idea? What about this
Yeah.
idea? You know.
I could plan a whole retreat and never do it.
Yeah. Then there's the defier, which I guess is
Uh-huh.
like, well, I don't want to do it anyway. I'm guessing.
Oh, that's the defier is the person that you want me to do this? I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't work on your schedule. I work on mine.
Seems to have a problem with
Yeah.
authority.
Yeah.
Then you have the worrier. That's me a lot.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I
You put
worry.
off tasks out of fear of
Yes.
change. Oh, yeah. You want to. I
Yes.
remember you even put off getting new phones
I
because of
would
that.
because I was like, what's the change?
And you
gonna be
wouldn't
like?
update them.
No, I would wait to
Oh,
update
God,
because
that
I'm like,
was
what's going to
drove me
happen? Is it
nuts.
actually a good update? Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm the
no.
mainly for little things, but I am the worrier procrastinator for sure. Then you have the crisis maker, who I think just thrives in the chaos, basically.
Yes, under pressure.
Yeah.
No, they act like they don't have any time, but they did have time.
Yes. And then what does it say for over-doer? 'Cause
They
I have that
take
written.
too much on and struggle with everything. They're the people that say yes to everything and then
Yeah.
whoops, overwhelmed. I
And then
can't
everything
do it
gets
all.
and so they
Yes.
get frozen and
Yeah,
procrastinate.
I can't do anything.
So there are all these different types of procrastinators. I'm
Yeah,
sure, like,
I think that's
I'm sure we're different
fascinating.
ways. We probably procrastinate
Yeah.
different ways, different times. But I think, if you listen to those and see if you find
Right.
yourself.
I think that helps to be able to look and say, well, this is
The reason-
I'm not a perfectionist, so that one's not mine. The dreamer, I put off tasks. Oh, but to know why, and because it looks lazy, it's very deceiving,
It is.
and it's basically because I can think of myself and other people that go, I'm overwhelmed, so I'm frozen. I just don't want to. I can't do anything. Well, by not doing anything, I'm creating more anxiety within myself because I
Yes.
know that phone call,
It's
whatever I'm
gotta-
dealing with is just
it's gotta
hanging
get done.
right there over my head,
Yes.
going, and I can't really relax until it's
Yes.
done. And if I can remember that,
And I think a lot of procrastination too just comes from generally, I mean, at least for me, it's when I have to do something I'm not comfortable with or
Yes.
that's challenging or, that little extra push you got to give. I mean, that's why, I'm simple example, you might put off doing homework at school
Yeah.
because it's hard. And like, I definitely did that with
Yeah.
some of my math homework. I'm like, I don't want to figure this out right now. I
Okay.
don't want to think through this. My brain is done or whatever, and so you
Yeah.
procrastinate doing something. And then a lot of times it's like, procrastination is we're pushing ourselves
Right.
or we're needing to, like, not wanting to do a phone call. But then we're like, well, I'd rather feel comfortable.
yeah, yeah,
So you do
exactly.
things
so you
that
do.
comfort you.
Yes, and
Yeah.
and it is that I know when I'm procrastinating for a bad reason.
Yes. Yes.
And not waiting for inspiration, because that is something. Because there are lines of work where you do a little research and then you have to sit and mull on it because it's
Yes,
an
and
inspiration thing.
That's a little different.
But that's different.
Yeah.
But it looks like
Yeah.
procrastination.
But
And
it's not. We're talking about actual procrastination. Like,
I know. Yeah.
what are ways that, like, you personally procrastinate?
It's funny because I don't have to procrastinate as much anymore.
Yeah. Your life isn't as
Because I
immediate.
don't quite have as many deadlines.
Yeah.
But there are, I'm bad sometimes about responding to email.
Me too.
Sometimes text. It's like, oh, let me think on that. I don't know how I want to, and
Yes.
oh, if I'm going to say no, then when do I want to say it? What am
Well,
I
what do
going
you
to
do when you like? Do you just like?
I just push it out of my, I just go later. And then, but it, like I say, it's hanging over my head,
Yes.
know? And so I just,
I definitely like.
maybe read a book, watch
Yes,
TV,
watch TV, do something
do
else.
something. I
Scroll.
clean something. You're supposed to be doing one thing.
Yes, and then
I
I'll
go,
start cleaning.
Oh, I'll clean out this. I'll do this. And then that takes all my energy. And it's like, oh, I'm not even thinking about it.
And I still feel like I'm being I'm tricking myself
Yes.
into thinking I'm productive.
Hey, I'm productive. I'm not lazy.
Look
I've
at
got
what I
this
just did. I
done.
just did this laundry. I just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
but then I'm putting
laundry's a
off.
great one.
Yes.
Because
Laundry's a good one.
because you see the production, you're like, see how
Look
I
at
had to do some
me.
work today. I didn't have time to do that.
Yes. Or I'll purposefully find something else I think is easier and do that. So, yeah.
Or wait till it's too late. Oh, I can't call now.
Oh,
Or I can't
right?
do that now. It's too late. I'll have to do this
It's
in the
past
morning.
business hours.
Yep.
Can't
I
do
have
it
to do this
now.
in the morning.
Yes, I do that too. And I'll just like push it off enough. I'm like, look, just can't do it. So
I've got, speaking of procrastination, I've got a pair of pants, 2 pairs of pants that I've had sitting on the couch in my bedroom for,
to return.
it's got to be 3 weeks now. I need them hemmed. There is less than a mile from my house. There is a tailor.
Yes.
Probably 2 miles, but
yeah, but still.
basically that Paul has used, so I know they're good. All I
You
have to do
haven't
is
done it?
call and go in. Have I done that? I see them
That
every
is
day.
so funny. That is absolutely the best example of
So
procrastination.
that is
That's so good.
procrastination, and I'm waiting for Paul to go, Kelly, why are they still here?
I love
So yeah,
it.
there's an active
So
one.
ways that help. What helps procrastination? What can we do to kind of get out of the habit?
Okay. We always come back to this, is awareness. And I think
Yes.
knowing the kind of procrastinator we are,
That helps. Yeah,
that
I
helps
think that would help.
to go. And, and I've learned, okay, Kelly, just get over this. And I dangle things in front of myself to go, you know what? You do that. I used to do it when I was working a lot.
Oh,
Going,
yeah.
okay, you make these, because I had to call people a lot.
All the time.
And ask for things. And I hate that, because they're going to say no. And I just, and I just hated that. So I would say, okay, if you do that, then you get to do this.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, the clear ones are, I think part of that is a little bit of like time management. It's like, okay,
It is.
I'll give myself 10 minutes. I'm going to do this or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll do the thing that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And then look, I'll give myself. And so, it's like you do with the kid.
Well, you do. And also it's finding out what time do you do things best.
Yes.
I am very much a morning.
Me too.
Get it done in the morning person.
So many things. If I'm not done with it by 11:30, it's going to be so much harder for me to finish anything later.
I do. And I love, the other thing I do love is making, and I still have to do it. If I'm really putting stuff off, I need to put it on paper. I can't put a reminder on my phone. That's not enough, because I can see that number, however many things I put off.
Yes.
Usually 3 or 4. I see the little number every time I open my phone.
Yeah.
But it doesn't motivate me. But if I write them down on a paper and I see it next to me in the morning and I mark it off.
I think it's finding that motivation. Like, I think especially like with me taking classes, and I'll be going back to school full time and all that stuff. Like, sometimes it's kind of interesting. Like, if I let things go like during the day, and then it's like, okay, I put Charles to bed, bedtime, like, this is it. This is my time to be productive for myself. It's like I kind of get a second wind sometimes.
Do.
And I just
amazes
I'm
me.
Tackle, and I'm going to feel so awesome for getting this stuff done. And then I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. It's like my reward is to not have to worry about it later. But I think it's just like finding that motivation of like, I'm doing this for myself. Somewhere deep inside that intrinsic motivation that we talked about. But, sometimes too, if that intrinsic motivation just isn't there for some things, it's absolutely okay to be like, you know what, I do this, I'm going to go get myself a milkshake.
Yeah.
Like, and whatever it is, I do that all the time too.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just like managing your time and then finding those I think those are the 2 biggest things, at least for me. And from what I read with procrastination.
Right.
And I think eventually, potentially, if it is that big of an issue, and there could be other factors like ADHD.
Yeah. There's
anxiety and depression make you procrastinate like crazy, because it's just hard to your brain can't find that balance.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's an instance where you say, okay, I've tried, coping, managing this on my own. I can't do that anymore. Like, it's imperative that, I go find some extra help, and find a therapist that can help you with, other methods that you may not have thought of too.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's important to recognize. Yeah. Because if we're anxious, then there's a reason, and we might need help. And just recognizing anxious because I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm not real good at this. I have to, I can think about students and people that say you're in a speech class.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to give a speech. Well, if I don't write it, I don't have to do it.
Yep.
And the anxiety of public speaking may overwhelm.
Yes.
And so there's...
Exactly. And so there are ways to, find the helps if you need, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But procrastination is quite.
It is. And just really, it was nice to read about the brain and the two going back and forth, because then you're like, oh, I get it. I think
understanding it
what's
kind of helps,
going on
then
now.
I think that understanding helps, because then you're not like shaming yourself for it. It's like, it's such a natural process. It's such a natural thing for humans to do. Like, there's no reason to feel guilt or shame over it. It's just taking the time to figure out what coping strategy works for you. It's just taking the time to figure out what is my motive.
I think that's big. I'm glad you talked about shame, because that is.
Because I feel it. I put it on myself. I'm like, oh, I'm putting this off. God, why do I keep doing that? What,
Well, and other people looking at you and going, you're just lazy.
Yes.
You know, do you know how? So when I was little, my room, I just didn't want to hang up clothes sometimes,
I'm sure it was a mess.
I guess it was. I can't even visualize the mess that it was, but
I'm sure
I remember one time my mom came in with a stopwatch and had me pick up a shirt and put it on the hanger.
I can see Oma doing that too.
Right?
I can see her standing.
How long did it take, Kelly? 3 seconds, 4 seconds, I don't know. Well, see how you just did it just like that. Well, my brain's going, well, it looks good on the floor. I mean, I don't want to do it.
I will stick up for my sister in this instance, which is rare.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you were when you were little.
Yes.
And how many times did you get so upset with her about the state of her room? And then eventually you let it go and you just decided to close the door. But
I did.
You got pretty worked up about her room.
I know. And do you know when we moved here, it was like scorpions hide in clothes.
Yeah,
that's
a good motivator.
But now
that was
totally
my
different.
Constant motivator.
But she's like me now.
Yeah, she's like you now.
And I can't stand clutter, and I want my room. So it does shift.
It does shift.
I think it has to do. And remember that if you got kids, because that remember that, because that's a developmental.
It is a developmental thing.
You know.
Yeah. That's so fun. It just is, but you tell me that, and I'm like, well, you got mad at Lord all the time.
I know. Isn't that funny? You know what I did to my mom though? She made me do that, so I dumped her clothes on the floor one day.
No, you did. She dumped mine and said, hang them up, and I'm going to dump yours back.
I don't even know what Dad would do to us if we did that. He would be, I don't even think you would be he would be furious on your behalf. I don't even know what amount of trouble
he would do.
I would be in if I went in and dumped your clothes on the floor. Oh my gosh, I'm getting scared just thinking about it. And I'm 30 years old.
You know what? I wouldn't have ever done that, because I thought that was the stupidest thing, to dump my clothes and have me hang them up. I thought that is stupid, and you do that to me, I'm going to do it back.
I just learned more and more what a troublemaker you were, and how much I probably could have gotten away with.
I was worried because none of my kids did anything. I remember,
and I would tell you, Sydney, it's okay to get in trouble.
You would tell me that.
And you go, no, I'll get demerit or something. Whatever you got in school. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I get a marker.
No. But this has been helpful.
Yes. I hope people kind of got some more understanding of themselves and a few tips and stuff to help.
Don't beat yourself up.
No.
Be gentle.
So, yes. And the next week, we're kind of going on, I don't know, a little bit the same line. Talking about mental health and hygiene.
That was a suggestion we got. So we're looking forward to talking about that. So we look forward to next week when we take a breath and take a listen.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of An Incomplete Guide to Personal Growth. There are many ways you can stay connected. Follow us on Instagram at An Incomplete Guide Podcast, where you can sign up for our email list and get posts that delve deeper into our weekly topics. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast page wherever you listen to your podcasts. We would really appreciate a rating and sharing us with your family and friends.
We're so glad you chose to spend your time with us, and hope there was a thought, a resource, or a laugh that you can take on your journey. We'll be here every Tuesday for you to take a breath and take a listen.